Okay guys, well, the weather's hanging off, that's fantastic. Okay, for guys, conventional guys, conventional golf swingers. Yeah, I taught the Hogan stuff, for a couple of years as well, to my ability, what I thought was the Hogan stuff. But for anybody that has trouble in a conventional golf swing releasing the golf club, there's one thing that really will help you, and that is getting the release of the golf club and the type of release of the golf club going early in the downswing. And Hogan got his going earlier than anyone that's ever played, like from there, no question in my mind. Now you can do that, and Jack did that, and Tom Watson did that. They all went from there, first move. But they also, preceding that, went here. Now, as long as you get something in that lower body leading the hands and the arms and the club head, you can release as hard as you like, as early as you like. But you can't do that if this is dormant, because that'll lead to that. But if you can get to the top of the swing and then just get that lead side, something in the lead side moving. Now, a lot of players have done it with different feel. And I think that the club player and the rank and file player, the reason they don't hit the ball consistently well, and the reason they hit the ball most time to the right, well, they don't always hit it to the right, but the great majority of right-handed players, club players, will just hit the ball to the right in one manner or another. And that's because the club face is open. And why is it open? Because it's not squared up. And why is it not squared up? Because it's not released early enough. There's a lot of effort required to get a golf club from there to there. Now, unless you're a tour player or a Hogan type player where you pivot release the club, and the rank and file players are never going to do that, you have to have something else to help you. So what I think in any conventional golf swing, once you've got the club back to here and you've loaded up and you've torqued up, see this lead knee here? If you can just get that lead knee and just move it in a semicircle that way before you start, well, just move it there, and then you can go as hard as you like. But that's almost like an unconscious torque related automatic move. If I get in my backswing here and I wind it up, there's a lot of torque on that knee there, so it wants to go. And when I was younger, I really did get that going early, and I had a lot more hip speed and a lot more clearance speed, and that of course knocked on as an effect to my arm, hand and club head speed. But what I'm saying is that you really need to be able to release the club as early as you can. So if we get it back to here and we're torqued up, if we just do that, or we actually feel it in the ankle, if you feel the ankle, or you feel a little bit of a roll to the outside of that foot, or even if you feel a little bit of that lead buttock just moving this way, as long as something in that lead side. Ernie Els does it with his lead shoulder. He just pulls his lead shoulder away. That's the first thing he does. Pulls his lead shoulder away from his chin. So whatever, some component on the lead side, if you get it going early, you can rip the release. I haven't done any conventional stuff, and I've just been doing channel lock, but okay, let's hit a couple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to release as hard as I can from the top, but I'm going to get that lead side going. So what is the release from the top? What are you going to feel, JH? When I get here, I just feel like I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn the back of that left hand here. And as I get in here, see this trail hand? That trail hand's going to do that. It's going to be a wiping action. If I had a table there and I had a polishing cloth, I'm going to wipe it across there, because guys, look what happens. If I have that trail hand in that configuration there, and I wipe it there, look at the lead hand. The lead hand has to assume that configuration. And that there is a very, very strong release. How much do I think? I actually think that the club's going to be shut by the time it gets to here. And if this wasn't moving, it probably would be, and I'd probably hit it over here and hit some guys under the covers here. So this lead side has got to go. Okay, now I've just got to program myself, bring back my old conventional golf swing protocol. This will be good. 6 iron here, guys. Well, that wasn't too bad. Feels different. Okay, so really get that lead knee going. Oh, guys, wow. Oh look, there's still a lot of merit in the conventional golf swing. You know, the best players in the world play with conventional golf swings. And that's a beautiful shot. There's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of timing in that. Wow, there's a lot of timing in that. But I hit that perfect. I'm turning that really early, guys, trying to wipe it. Get the lead knee going. Yeah, great. Feels funny after channel lock. Well, I'm warmed up after 3. Okay, Jay, really get that lead knee going and wipe it. Whew. That's downtown. How's that feel after channel lock? It just feels hard to time, but they're really good shots. Okay, now I'm really going to wipe this, guys. The wipe is this. Turn that down and this hand's going to do that over the ball, but the lead side is going to take the lead. Now guys, those 4 or 5 balls are all in that sort of 15-foot circle. Every one of them was a little bit different off the blade, but the actual strike was, the actual flight was perfect. Let's see if I can take it back a bit further. So I'm trying to do this, guys. What Hogan did, when I was talking about Hogan before, what Hogan did, Hogan used to try and throw the club down the fairway with his right hand, like that. Throw it and release it like that. I spoke to a guy who was Ben Hogan. This guy's brother was a good friend of Hogan's, and and he knew Hogan pretty well, and he said that Ben actually said that he used to try and throw the club down the fairway with his right hand. Okay. Whew. Come on, Jones, do a good job. That's really good. So what am I doing? Just doing that. Turning that lead hand down from the top of the swing, there, and trying to get the trail hand to sort of have a wiping action through the ball, which means I've really released it fully. I'll try and do a really good job. Guys, they're all in the same place. And I'm stiff, I'm not making a really good swing. Now to get that to go there, load that a little bit. Doesn't get any better than that. Those last 3 balls are a metre apart. just like here. I don't do that all the time, but nobody does. But but you can really get nothing wrong with the conventional golf swing. But don't be afraid to release the golf club. I'll overdo this. I'll try and smother the ball. JH, you should try and smother every single shot that you play. Now guys, that really, the feeling there was that trail hand is doing that, coming into the ball, and it wants to wipe it. So look where the lead hand is. If I'm wiping it with the trail hand, look where the lead hand is, it's under. Now I'm not doing it that severely, but I'm thinking about I want to do it that severely. They're beautiful shots. Beautiful shots. Now that went dead straight, and it's still in the same circle, but just got it a little bit, probably fourth or fifth groove, because I didn't release down hard enough. Still a perfect shot. I really release this down, James. Like that. Now what you've got to do, which I'm not doing, is that once you start that lead going, keep it going. I'm stiff in my groins because of the training I've been doing in the last couple of days. But once you get that going, guys, you've got to keep it going so that your shoulders finish here and your golf club's here. Just keep it going. I'll keep this going. Perfect. Now I'm clearly not turning through the shot as much as I should have been. Just check that audio, guys. Yeah, just want to check that audio, guys. Couldn't see anything blinking there. I thought you were out here talking to yourself, JH. Well, as you get older, you tend to do that. Did I tell you I was 76 the other day? Feels awful. Feels awful thinking you're 76. Watch this, guys. Come on, Chase, put a good swing on it. Yeah, so guys, there's nothing wrong with the conventional golf swing if you apply it correctly. But this is all about release. Yeah, so it's from here, it's as hard as you can, but this has got to go early. If I stall up the lead side and I released it that hard, the ball would just go over here. All right, last shot now, really do a good job. And I'll talk about the grip in a moment. Come on, Jade, do a really nice one. Really set that forward position. Well, that's the best shot of the day. The best shot of the day by miles. Okay, I want to talk about the grip. Yes, good shot. And guys, that feels like that. Feels like I'm wiping the table. If I wipe it with that hand's there, which means the club's fully released. Or it's actually over-released, but you won't over-release it. You won't do it. But you've got to think you will. Okay, with the grip, for most people, I'm very much someone who holds it in the roots of the fingers. If I take my grip there, I have a perfect right angle there. There, it's in the roots of the fingers. Now, as soon as I apply the grip in the roots of my fingers, maybe I can show a little bit of this. Okay. Now, see my fingers are here. When I grip them here, what I do is I roll those fingers in like that. when I roll them, I actually roll my hand up. I roll the fist up. There it is, I roll it up. I put them there, and then I roll them. And that gives me what I call finger lock. That really locks the hand and gives a really strong position here. Yeah, so that's called finger lock, guys. I know Hogan did that because that same guy, who was the brother of the guy that Hogan knew that I spoke to, told me that. He said Hogan used to just put it in the fingers and then just roll it. Just roll it like that. Okay, roll it. Now if you do that, you get tremendous purchase in those fingers. Now the lead hand, the trail hand, now once you've got that configuration there, the lead hand, the same thing goes on still in the roots of the fingers. I put in the roots of the fingers, then I fold that hand over there. You don't want it in the palm, guys. You want it in the roots so you can fold that over. Here, like that. And of course in the fingers you get a lot more speed. I know Mo held it in the palm in his right hand because he wanted that single axis, but Mo sacrificed speed because of that. And when I was teaching the Mo Norman system, when I was holding it in the palm, I lost nearly 15 yards with my driver and a club with my irons because I couldn't generate the finger speed that I used to have. So for anybody who uses a conventional Vardon grip and you're having trouble with it and it's coming apart, or you're wearing your glove out, that's a perfect sign that there's something wrong with your grip when you wear your glove out, because that's friction, guys. Club's moving around. Hogan used to wear the grips out. He never wore his hands out, he wore the grips out because he used to hang on as hard as he did. And the other thing is, guys, some people say, you know, like Sam Snead, that famous line, hold the club like a bird, with the tension of holding a bird. Well, if you've ever shook hands with Sam Snead, you'll know that the type of bird that he would be referring to would be a golden eagle, because he's as strong as an ox. And what he thinks is soft is for us is not soft. And you can't get the sound on the golf ball. Mo Norman said that to me. Mo said he used to try and draw blood. He held onto the club so tight. And so does Lee Como. Lee Como tries to crush the club with his grip. And all the good ball strikers have got tight grips. Can hear it. A loose grip, it just hasn't got that sound. So that's the grip, guys. And the best way to take it and get the feeling is to do it here. There used to be a guy that won the PGA that beat Greg Norman. His name was Bob Tway. This is what Bob used to do. Bob used to set his grip like that, right in front of him, 90 degrees. And you see him, he'd do this, put it in front of him, and then he'd put it down. Because he found it easier to get it in the fingers there. And he had this 90 degrees, and then Bob just put it down. And Bob had a beautiful grip. A great ball striker, Bob Tway. I think he still plays the senior tour. Looks the same. Doesn't look old at all. Or even older. So yeah, just take your grip and put it there, guys. Put it there, like that. 90 degrees, put your thumb on. Now thumb. You know, I play with a short thumb. You know, some guys will play with a long thumb. It depends what your hand's like. You know, if you've the configuration of your hand. I've got a long palm there, but I've got short fingers. So I can roll it, but I've got a short thumb. And I've got no bend in my thumb, it's dead straight. If you look at Hogan, Snead's, Norman von Niders, they were like that, guys. They were like the claw on a budgerigar or a hawk. Theirs was bent, mine's dead straight. Now if you've got a finger that kicks up like that, you can have a good grip. All the great golfers had that. And maybe it was just from hitting millions of balls that the pressure down there. Okay, let's hit one with the perfect grip and the perfect release. Oh, and the other thing, guys, when you take that trail hand and you put it on, have the pressure in that forefinger, that knuckle pad here, right there. That's the one that exerts the pressure. That's the trigger finger. That's Daly. That was Doug Sanders. That was Hogan. They push there. That's where the pressure is in that trail hand. You can't apply these fingers. It doesn't work in the trail hand. It's that one there. That's the one that applies the pressure. So if you can just get some shots, just get a little I mean, this is six. Just put that finger on there and hit a couple of shots where you just pressure that with that. Bang, hear that sound? That'll teach you. Just get a wedge or an 8 iron or whatever, or get a 6 iron. Doesn't matter. But just pressure the club in with that forefinger there. Bang, straight in there like that. So that's just putting it down there. And that's why Hogan had that different sound. Because he used to pressure the club so much with that knuckle there. There's none there. You can't pressure the hand. In the trail hand, you can only pressure it with this part here, believe it or not. You can't pressure with any of this. So that's the main utilisation portion of the trail hand for applying power. In my opinion, it's 100% of my thinking. That's where I want to apply it. It's 100% of my thinking. Okay, so we'll apply forefinger or index finger really strong. And that'll help you when you're wiping with your wipe action. See, it's still there. See that there? It's still there. Okay, last shot. Come on, Jace, do a good one. Last shot and the best shot of the day. Wow, that's a good shot. But you can hear that sound, guys. That's really club on ball. And I'm not a gouger. I don't take gougy divots. I like to hit Tom Watson. If you see Tom Watson practicing, I mean, you wouldn't even know he'd been practicing. He just skims it, but just an incredible ball striker. But it's just so, yeah. Okay, guys, that was just a little bit of something conventional golf swing. You know, how to release the club from the top, a little bit on the grip. The sun's come out here, guys, and it's about 400 degrees because there's so much water in the ground. Okay, guys, might do some more tomorrow.